Hello, friends. Welcome to the Mental Gym. This is a live stream, and the objective of this particular program is to help everybody sharpen their critical thinking. And the rules of the games are that we will ask you one question. You have to respond to this question in less than 60 seconds, because if you do, obviously your mind is working fast, and you can remember things which are happening in our world. So without further wasting any moment and without further ado, let us proceed to our critical thinking ability quiz. And the first question is, in the 79 AD, Mount Vesuvius erupted, burying which city? So, Mount Vesuvius is a volcano in Italy. It had erupted in the year 79 AD, burying a very popular city. And the time starts now. Well, we know that the southern Europe is actually sitting on a very active tectonic plate system, because the continent of Africa is pushing into the southern Europe, and therefore that is a cause of mountains being created, which is the Alps. And below that, there are a lot of volcanoes, especially in the Italian region. And Mount Vesuvius is a major volcano. It had erupted, leaving behind very, very vivid, gory, evidence of one big city being buried by the ash. So let us now find the answer. The answer is Pompeii, and very popular city. In fact, there is a movie also with the same name, Pompeii. Let us now find out who have been able to give the correct answer. And the correct answer was given by Chandra Sen. Chandra Sen has given the correct answer, and also given a lot of big explanation of why such a thing has happened. So, congratulations, Chandra Sen. You have been able to give the first correct answer. Now, let us go to our next question, and let's find out if Chandra Sen can crack this one. So, in the year 1593, first recorded alleged teleportation of a Spanish soldier from Philippines to Mexico. Teleportation itself is a pseudoscience, and some people say it is happening, some people say it is fiction, but the first alleged recorded teleportation of a soldier from Philippines to Mexico, and this happened to a soldier. What was the name of the soldier? And the time starts now. Well, teleportation has been a concept which is also explained by mainstream science. In fact, teleportation happens all the time when it comes to subatomic particles, because that is the quantum nature of the nature itself of the particles. So we are not going in too much depth. Let's find the answer for this question. And the name of the person, or the Spanish soldier, is Gil Perez. And he said that he miraculously disappeared from Philippines island and reappeared in an instant in Mexico. And now let's find out who have been able to give the right answer. Well, Chandrasen, you cracked it again, and you have given the right answer. Gil Perez is said that he teleported instantly way back in the 14th century from Philippines, because it was in the middle of the war, and reappeared instantly in Mexico. First alleged incident of teleportation. Great job, Chandrasen. Now let's move on to the next question. In 1601, who succeeds Tycho Brahe as the imperial mathematician to the Emperor Rudolf II? 1601, who succeeds Tycho Brahe, very popular mathematician of the day, even today, as an imperial mathematician to the Emperor Rudolf II. And your time starts. Well, Tycho Brahe was a very popular mathematician, and so was the Johannes Kepler. Johannes Kepler was German, and because that was the beginning time of the Renaissance, where people had seen what had happened to Copernicus. He was burned alive at the stake by the Vatican, and Galileo had to spend his last years in jail. And he also said that he had committed mistake by saying that Earth is not the center of our solar system, and rather universe, but it was sun. He had to take his study back. It was never published during his lifetime. So Johannes Kepler, who has given us the laws of planetary motion, he had to change his base every 6 months, because he didn't want to get arrested by the Christian forces. So finally, Johannes Kepler got a role of prominence, and therefore Johannes Kepler is the right answer. As we will see, Johannes Kepler was a person who was very popular and very, very brainy person. Now let's see who have been able to give the right answer. So yes, so Chandrasen, you have been able to give the right answer. Johannes Kepler, a German astronomer and mathematician. And who else? Okay, Tanya Kajuria. Tanya Kajuria, you have also been able to give the right answer, even though spelling is wrong, but doesn't matter. I give it to you. Johannes Kepler was the right answer. All right. So Tanya Kajuria and Chandrasen, congratulations. You have been able to give the right answer, and therefore your mind is working at optimum speed. It's basically the speed at which you answer matters. So now let's look at the next question quickly. In the year 1851, who discovers Ariel and Umbriel satellites of Uranus? So these are the name of the satellite, Ariel and Umbriel satellites of Uranus, way back in 1851, because the equipment was not so advanced, and Uranus is quite far off. So tell me the name of the astronomer who discovered these two satellites revolving around Uranus. Time starts. Well, Uranus is a very far off planet. It was discovered recently at the time, and this discovery of Uranus was actually based on the observation, and therefore, the astronomer who was actually responsible for discovering the satellites of this very far off planet in our solar system had to be very sharp mind, must have thorough knowledge of how things are in this space, etc. So now let's find out what is the answer to this question. The answer is William Lassell. He was a person who was able to discover two tiny satellites of Uranus. Now let's find out who have been able to give the right answer. Of course, it is Chandrasen, William Lassell, 1851. Of course, Chandrasen, you have been able to crack this. And Tanya Kujuria, your answer is not visible. But there will be a next question you can try to answer quickly in the next one. So congratulations, Chandrasen. Let's now move quickly to the next question. In the year 1881, who was the US ambassador to France? And who drives the first rivet in the Statue of Liberty? And as you know, the Statue of Liberty was a gift to America by France, and the US ambassador to France was the first one to drive the first rivet in the Statue of Liberty. And the time. Well, if you have traveled to United States and if you have gone to New York, you would not miss this national icon statue, a huge statue in front of the New York Harbor, and it's actually in green in color. Why green in color? Because on the contrary belief, it is not made of stone; it is made of metal, and it is actually made of copper. And therefore copper rust is green in color. That is why the Statue of Liberty is green in color. It was statue manufactured in France, gifted to United States. And by the way, if you do not know, Statue of Liberty are present also off the coast of Tokyo. So similar present was made to Japan by France, and there is a similar statue on the off the coast of Tokyo as well. Now, who actually draw the first rivet in the American Statue of Liberty? Let's find out. The name of the US ambassador to France is Levy P. Morton, and that's the right answer. And he was the US ambassador of the day. let us find out who have been able to give the right answer. It is Chandrasen again. Chandrasen, you have been able to give the right answer. Levi uh, P. Morton or Parsons Morton, and also Tanya Kajuria. Even you have been able to give the right answer. I think there was a typo, but you know, you almost got the right answer. Basically, there was a typo in your answer. So I give it to you. Guys, you definitely have a sharp mind. Now, let's go to the next question quickly and respond to that question as well. In the year 1901, who was the first woman to go over Niagara Falls in a barrel and survives? So you know that the Niagara Fall, if you fall into Niagara Fall, there is no way you can survive. In fact, the falls are so brutal that sometimes the body is also not recoverable. Whereas in the year 1901, the first woman to go over Niagara Falls in a barrel, wooden barrel, and she survived. Name of this person, and the time starts. Well, Niagara Fall is a waterfall, a huge waterfall, very big, huge volume of water actually travel between two Great Lakes in North America, and it was formed uh, during the end of the last ice age. So it is not a waterfall which is very old. It is a kind of recent waterfall, and it is going to disappear in next 10 to 12,000 years. That has been estimated. The rocks in the bottom of the Niagara Falls are very rugged, and because the water is also huge volumes and nothing survives, not even machinery can survive if it crashes into Niagara Falls. So the question was, who was the first woman to survive in a barrel in the year 1901? And let's find out who has been able to crack it. So Chandrasen, you have given Annie Edson, and Tanya Kujuria, you have given Maria. So let's go to the answer and see if you have correct answer. Well, Anna Taylor. So unfortunately, Tanya, your answer is not right. Chandrasen, your answer is absolutely right. Any and even your answer is not right. You have given Annie Anderson. It is Anna Taylor, not Annie Anderson Taylor. So okay, so I give it to you, Chandrasen, because I think there was again a spelling typo. Maybe it's a typing issue. And let me see if others have also tried. Amar Vakil. Amar Vakil is watching us from LinkedIn. Amar Vakil has also given Tyler, as an answer. So all three of you are right, and you have given the right answer. Now let's quickly go to the next question and let's see if you can crack this. 1911, who remained in air for 9 minutes and 45 seconds in a glider, setting a new world record that stood for 10 years. This was very long back, but the humans were still learning to make aeroplanes and fly around. So a world record was set in the year 1911. The glider flew for 9 minutes 45 seconds, and that record was not broken for 10 years. Who was the pilot? Time starts now. Well, we know that the Wright brothers had invented the flight, especially in the mainstream, mainstream media. It is well documented that the Wright brothers, two brothers, actually invented the first flight. Now let's find the answer to this question. Well, as we know that the among the two Wright brothers, Virabal and Orville Wrights, Orville was a pilot, and Virabal was the inventor who actually played a major role in perfecting the light petrol engine, which was fitted into the Wright brother aeroplane way back in 1903 when the first flight took off. So the answer is Orville Wright, and now let's find out who have been able to give the right answer. Well, as always, I'm not surprised, Chandrasen, you have given the right answer, and he was the one of the brothers, Wright brothers, and they were also manufacturing their aeroplanes, by the way. Now let's go to the next question quickly, and let's find out if you can crack this. In the year 1924, who won the Nobel Prize for physiology or medicine for discovery of mechanism of electrocardiogram? So who discovered the mechanism of electrocardiogram? Basically ECG, which is found in every hospital, every clinic today, every nursing home, and nowadays the ECG can also be carried in a briefcase. So the first time the person who discovered that there is a machine, the heartbeat can be recorded on a graph, and which is known as electrocardiogram, was the person who actually got the Nobel Prize in 1924. What was his name? Time starts now. Well, ECG has become such a common thing. You know, if you go to a physician, the first thing they do is, okay, something is wrong with you. Have you got your ECG done? So they immediately send you to a nursing staff. They will perform ECG, and then within 5 minutes they will say, okay, everything is fine with your heart. Now go and meet the doctor. So there was a time when there was no ECG, and this melodrama was not being experienced by the patient before 1924. So who started this? Let's find that out. It was a Dutchman, William Enthovan, and he was an inventor who got the Nobel Prize. And now let's find out who have been able to give the right answer. So I'm not surprised it was Chandrasen. Of course, you got the right answer. But before you, Chandrasen, this time Amar Vakil cracked it. Amar Vakil, this time you were very quick. So congratulations, your critical thinking quotient is improving. The whole objective of this quiz is to basically improve the thinking process of our brain. And good job, both of you, Amar Vakil and Chandrasen. Now let's quickly move to the next question. In the year 1931, which gangster was sentenced to 11 years of prison for tax evasion? So there are two keywords here: gangster and tax evasion. Not murder, not gangstering. It's the gangster convicted for tax evasion. Tell me the name of this gangster. And time starts now. Well, friends, this was a easy question, I guess. I think if you love movies, you know the answer even without thinking. So let's find out what is the answer in any case. It is Al Capone. Al Capone was a notorious gangster, and we know that he started the laundry business in Chicago, and he used to do all his underworld, activities behind on the backside of his laundrettes, and the word money laundering got evolved because of Al Capone, because he was actually running the laundrette business in the front, and he was running his liquor smuggling business in the back, and he was churning a lot of money because of that, and therefore the authorities said that he's actually doing money laundering. All right, let's find out who have been able to give the right answer. Of course, um, Chandrasen, you have been able to crack this, and also Amar Vakil. Well, this was a easy answer, uh, and Al Capone is kind of glorified by the Hollywood movies also. So this was an easy answer. And if you know a little bit history of prohibition time during the prohibition in North America, a lot of people made a lot of money in smuggling liquor. Al Capone was the kingpin of all of those guys. Now let's go to the next question quickly. In the year 1944, which US aircraft carrier was sunk at Philippines during World War II? So it is a big thing. A US aircraft carrier was sunk by Japanese forces during World War II in the battle around Philippines Island in the year 1944. Tell me the name of this aircraft carrier. Time starts. Well, friends, during the Second World War, most of the naval battle was happening in the Pacific between the US forces and Japanese. Because in the US, in the European theater, most of the battle was happening on either air or on the ground. There was hardly any naval battles in the European theater, whereas in the American theater, the Pacific was the hotbed of all the naval warfare, and there were many battles. We know Pearl Harbor, then Midway, and then later the war moved to the Philippines Island. There were many battles, big battles were fought in the area of Philippines. Very fierce battle, because Japanese were defending the land they had occupied, and Americans were actually trying to defeat them and eradicate Japanese out of these islands. So in fact, the world largest naval battle happened in Philippines is in the area called Gulf of Leyte in Philippines. Now let's move to the answer. It is the USS Princeton. USS Princeton is the aircraft carrier which was sunk by Japanese forces during Second World War. Many sailors died along with this tragedy. It is a big loss for American forces uh, in the Battle of Gulf of Leyte. Now let's find out who have been able to crack this. Now this time, Chandrasen, I would like to say that I think you got totally confused by this, by by your when you are trying to give the answer, because you have given three answers. You first gave the right answer, USS Princeton, but then you got confused. You actually started naming the other ships. So which one you want to stick because the answer is now out. It was USS Princeton, which was sunk by Japanese forces in the year 1944. Okay, so you are saying it's the Princeton. Okay, all right. But Chandrasen, do quick thinking, but you have to also make right thinking. That is the whole game. This is game. Whole game is all about critical thinking, but you have to always make right judgment. Now let's quickly move to the next question, and let me see if others have attempted. Okay, I don't see any other response. All right, let's move to the next question. Now, this is again related to Second World War. In the year 1944, which US pilot was able to shoot down 9 to 11 Japanese plane in Gulf of Leyte during the single battle? One pilot able to destroy 9 to 11 Japanese plane on a single day in this battle called Gulf of Leyte in a single battle. What was the name of this American hero? Time starts. So, Gulf of Leyte battle is the biggest naval battle in the recorded history. Many naval vessels were used, all kinds of ships were used, including aircraft carrier, destroyer, frigates, all kinds of ships were there, speedboats, torpedo boats, uh, of course, humans and aeroplanes. It was a big battle in which it was decisive US victory over Japanese, and after that, Japanese were always in retreat after the Gulf of Leyte battle. It was a big thing. Many soldiers died on both sides, but when there is a victory being chased, then nobody thinks about the cost of the war. Now let's go to the answer. US Captain David McCampbell. That is the answer. And now he was a pilot who has been credited of shooting down anything between 9 to 11 planes during this battle. Why 9 to 11? Because many times the stories don't match up, and therefore there are contradictions. So therefore an average rate is given, and in those days, in the confusion of war, exact count cannot be kept, and there were claims and counterclaims, etc. So of course Chandrasen has been able to give the right answer, Commander McCampbell. And let me see if others have also attempted. Again, Chandrasen, you're sort of getting confused. Your first answer is right, Chandrasen, and I've already addressed that 9 to 11 kills issue. I think after the war, when the count was made, the Japanese were also considered. The Japanese side was also considered to confirm which pilot actually scored how many kills, and therefore that is why there is a range given, because it's very difficult to confirm, especially in a such large battle like the Gulf of Leyte battle. Very difficult to pinpoint exact numbers, but in any case, Captain Campbell was a hero, is revered as a national hero by Americans. Now I have Amar Vakil is also making a comment, and that is a question on sports and general knowledge. Of course, in this quiz there are all kinds of knowledge based questions, and in fact there were a lot of general knowledge based questions also. There is a complete mix, and please stick around, the questions are coming your way. Now let's move to the next question quickly. In the year 1946, name the rocket which flew in the year 1946. It had the camera on board, and that camera shot the first picture of Earth from outer space. What was the name of this rocket? The time starts. Well, as you know that the science of rocketry is really the science of rocket, making sure that a rocket actually reaches the space is rocket science. It's quite difficult. Therefore, the science of rocketry started much after the invention of aeroplane, roughly by amateurs in the year of 1925 and so, but it had progressed so rapidly that in 1946, uh, the mainstream rocketeers were able to send a rocket which reached the space. It was able to overcome the Earth gravity and was able to turn back its camera and take the first picture of Earth from the space. Now let's go to the answer. The complete answer is the camera which was fitted on board of a V2 rocket number 13. So V2 number 13 is the complete answer. Now let's find out who have been able to crack this one. Well, Chandrasen, let me give it to you. Even though it's half the answer, it's V2 rocket, but rocket number 13 is the complete answer. This was a rather difficult question because it's difficult to guess the entire answer. But I give it to you 50% marks on this. Now I have one statement from Amar Vakil is that you can make a time to 30 seconds. Yes, we can make it to 30 seconds, but then by the time you're able to type in, by the time it reaches us, it takes slightly longer than that. So we can make it 30 seconds, but then you have to be sitting in front of me for 30 seconds. But if you're not sitting in front of me, and if you're on a digital medium, slightly more time has to be given so that everybody can participate, because there are many people from different cities across the world, and they are separated by different social media. So that is why we thought that 60 seconds is optimum, so that the participant have enough time to think and also type in, and the message reaches us. That is the reason we have kept it at 60 seconds. But point taken. Now, and thank you for suggesting Amar Vakil. Now let's move on to the next question quickly. Now this is coming to the recent times. In the year 1982, which German tennis superstar played her first pro tennis match? Very, very simple question. Times. this was a very easy question, and as Amir Vakil, one of the participants, was saying, question related to general knowledge. This was definitely a question related to general knowledge, and because the answer was hidden in the question itself, German tennis, superstar playing pro tennis first match. Okay, so these are there were so many hints in the question itself. Let's find out who have been able to crack this. Of course, Chandrasen, Steffi Graf is the right answer. I'm sure you know the answer. This is Steffi Graf, and there was another attempt by uh, Edify Learning, and they are saying Navratulova. So, Edify Learning, Navratulova was defeated by Steffi Graf, and Navratulova was not German. She was Czech Republic, a player from Czech Republic. So, unfortunately, Edify Learning, your answer is not correct. Chandrasen, your answer is absolutely correct. So, and a German superstar, uh, she won many Grand Slams after this, but this was her first match. Now let's quickly move to the next question. In the year 2003, which passenger supersonic jet makes its first commercial flight? Last commercial flight. In the year 2003, which passenger supersonic makes its last commercial flight? And the time starts. Well, this was again a very simple question. The answer to this question was hidden in the question itself. Now let's find out the answer. Of course, this is Concorde, the supersonic jet commercial. These are all the hidden hints in the question for you to guess, and I think many of you have rightly guessed it. The first answer came from Amar Vakil, Concorde. Of course, this is Concorde, the supersonic. In fact, usually it takes about 9 hours from London to New York by a normal jet, whereas the Concorde could fly from London to New York in 3 hours. So, if you are a businessman living on either side of the pond, you don't have to basically battle the jet lag. You can actually finish your job, travel from London to New York, and get back on the same day. So it was amazing. Although the flight was quite expensive, the Concorde flight was quite expensive. Only creme de la creme could have afforded it. The next correct answer was given by Chandrasen, of course. And Chandrasen, you are saying that sorry, just late by few seconds. Well, this is not a race, Chandrasen. There is no race. However, you have to quickly think in 30 to 40 seconds. That is what it is. But good job, Chandrasen. Let me see. Edified learning. No. You are way off. You're saying Vistara, Boeing. Vistara is still flying, and Boeing is still flying. This was a question about supersonic, which made the last flight because after 2003, Concorde was discontinued. So sorry, Edified learning. Try your luck in the next one. Let's move to the next question quickly. This is our last question of today for our quiz. And if you're a cricket lover, you should be able to crack it. In 2018, which Indian cricketer became the 12th and the fastest ever scorer of 10,000 runs in one-day international cricket matches? taking just 205 innings. I will not do any explanation. Well, if you are an Indian and if you're a cricket lover, which you have to be, uh, you should know the answer. And so let's find out who have been able to give the right answer. But before that, let's check the answer itself. It is the Virat Kohli, and he has actually broken Sachin Tendulkar's record of scoring 10,000 runs in only 205 innings. So, who have attempted? Amar Vakil, you have given Sachin Tendulkar. Of course, Sachin Tendulkar was there, but this was before Virat Kohli, and Virat Kohli had actually scored faster 10,000 runs than Sachin Tendulkar, and therefore he is the fastest Indian cricketer to score 10,000 runs. So, for this question, your answer is not right, and Chandrasen, your answer is right. You have given the right answer. So, friends, we have come to the end of our quiz today on October 24th. So, thanks for joining me live. I will meet you again live tomorrow at 10 p.m. with fresh questions, which will help you, energize your mind just before you're trying to hit the bed, or if you're waking up on the other side of the world, in both ways. All right. So, thanks for joining me live again, and see you tomorrow. Bye bye for now.